Hello gorgeous and divine soul friends, welcome back to my channel, Madame Devoe. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your unique experience today. I'm going to be making a Q&A vlog answering some questions that you guys have asked about consciousness, spirituality, self-awareness, and all of that. I had a Q&A on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago telling you guys to ask me some questions that I would incorporate into a video. Well, needless to say, I got a lot of questions and I won't be able to answer them all in a single video, but I'm going to be doing this Q&A thing now and again, so if you have questions while watching this video, or if you had a question and it didn't get answered, go ahead and send it to me, send it to my email, send it to my Instagram, and you may just see it in the next Q&A. So the first question says, what can I do to feel more connected to the universe? Connection to source is something that's very unique and it varies from person to person. I don't think this is something that we can really generalize. I guess if I could throw out some generalizations of things you could do, like going out into nature, meditating, praying, spending time with your family, your friends, your pets, engaging in hobbies that are unique to you, is one way you could connect yourself with source. You know, if you like to play guitar, play guitar. If you like to go outside and hike, go hike. If you like to exercise, go exercise. I just think it varies depending on your experience and your desires and the reason that you came here to be a human. Because ultimately, yes, we are human and we're always connected to source. That's not something that I believe ever goes away. I just think that we become oblivious to that connection. We become unaware. And the key is to bring that connection, that awareness of that connection back, and that's how you feel more connected. So even just telling yourself every day, I'm connected to source, I'm connected to the universe, I'm connected to the all, I think that's a way of bringing that awareness back of that connectivity, which allows you to feel more connected. But I really think the biggest thing is, you know, participating in hobbies that are filling of your soul, that give you life. And I also think another way of feeling connected towards the universe or to the universe is through service to others. You know, you feel like you're actually doing something for someone, even if it's just hearing your friend vent, you know, be of service to yourself and to others. I think that's a really big way you can connect yourself to the divine. And you know, it doesn't have to be everything. You know, you don't have to go and do everything of service to others. And having that healthy balance of service to others and service to self can really help you feel super duper connected to the all. Because that's what we came here to do ultimately as humans, was to be of service to one another. So my next question is, what do I believe happens when we die? I don't think every human experiences the death process the same. I think that that's something very unique to your own spiritual path, whether you transfer into another physical vessel or whether you go into non-physical form or spirit form. I think that's something that's very unique to you and what you want and what you need in that moment in time. I definitely don't think consciousness ceases to exist after we die. That's a very ignorant ideology, if I'm being quite honest. Just because if you think of consciousness as an energy form, energy is not created or destroyed, it's simply transferred into another way of being, another expression, another form, be it another physical vessel or, as I mentioned, spiritual or non-physical vessel. I also think we remain creators even in the afterlife. If you are experienced with astral projection or lucid dreaming, you will understand this. So I've read a lot of near-death experiences where people talk about how they had a horrifying experience, there was hellfire and torture, and it was very fearful for them when they came out of this experience. And I've had others that I've read where they talk about, you know, it's blissful, it's amazing, uplifting, and they don't want to go back. I definitely think that this happens because those people who were experiencing, you know, those hell-inducing, fear-inducing experiences were possibly very negative people in their waking life, in the sense that they were living in a very fear-based, low vibrational energy, and therefore that's what manifested for them. Those images, those experiences of that low vibrational energy manifested for them in the afterlife. So I think if you're a positive person, you're uplifting, you live in service to yourself and service to others, you know, you are highly likely to experience bliss and positivity because that collective energy is positive around you. So it's going to carry over into the afterlife. Those emotions, those experiences, that energy that surrounds you is going to be carried over. And same thing if you're negative. We create our own hell and we create our own heaven even in the afterlife. So it's important to become conscious now because it allows you to transmute a lot of that energy, quote unquote, absolving your sins. Sin, in my interpretation, is just living in a doing low vibrational things. That's sin. So, in the Bible it talks about you live a life of sin, you're going to go to hell. That can be translated in the sense of if you're living in a low vibrational energy, participating in low vibrational activities, you're more likely to manifest a scenario in the afterlife that's going to be reflective of those same vibrations. So possibly very, very fearful experiences, very horrifying experiences of hell, because that's what's been programmed into the collective conscious. Absolving would be in the sense of clearing yourself, right? Forgiving yourself, being more understanding of yourself and therefore others around you so that you can raise that vibration. And you can still do this in the afterlife if you become conscious, but a lot of people don't because a lot of people aren't conscious in this current life. So it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to practice self-awareness in this life so that you can carry it over into the afterlife and therefore create consciously an experience for you that's going to be blissful and loving and amazing. My next question, is there ever an end to the spiritual journey? This is a hard no. There's never an end to the spiritual journey because knowledge is infinite and the quest for knowledge therefore should always be infinite as well. It's very important for us to always want to learn new things and to always want to expand our minds and to expand our way of thinking and way of viewing the world. I also don't think that there's a beginning to the spiritual journey either. I think that's something that you just become aware of. Not necessarily that you start your spiritual path. It's always with you. The spiritual energy of the divine is always with you. It's just about becoming aware of it. And I guess you could say that sense of awareness of the spiritual path is what starts it, but it's always happening. There's spiritual energy always influencing everything around us, even when we're not conscious of it. So to say that there's a beginning or an end to the spiritual path is kind of ego-based in my opinion. I also think that the terms like enlightened or, all-knowing, I don't really like using those terms because I feel like they put a sense of ego. The spiritual path should be something that's humbling. It's not something like, oh, I'm enlightened, I know everything, because no, we don't know everything. There's always new information coming out, new knowledge, new energies influencing the collective. It's just about becoming aware of those energies and allowing them to flow through you in a way that you can understand yourself and the world around you more. So my next question, are all spirits good? Are some evil? I'm gonna go on a mini rant for a second because I have so many people commenting on my videos, sending me emails, sending me messages saying, you need to be careful with the cards because bad spirits this and bad spirits that. You need to be careful because you're gonna get an entity attachment, yada, 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 yada. So much fear-based energy surrounding spirits and spirit guides and all of that stuff. As a result of conditioning, there's just a lot of fear that still is very prevalent in regards to this topic of spirits. And the media doesn't help. You have shows like Ghost Adventures, you have shows like ghost hunting shows where they portray entities as being primarily a bad thing. But the thing about it is it's just polarity at the end of the day. So think about it this way. Yes, there are both positive spirits and negative spirits. Just like there are positive humans and negative humans. There's humans who reside in fear-based vibrations, anger, sadness, pain, resentment, whatever. That makes them primarily a polarity of negativity. When there's positive beings who live with a base vibration of love, gratitude, happiness, joy, appreciation, that's gonna cause them to reside in an energy of positivity, a positive polarity. It's the same thing with spirits. If somebody lives a life of hatred, anger, resentment, they're most likely going to manifest in the spirit realm as a negative entity because that's the collective energy surrounding them. Negative entities feed off negative vibrations. So these people that are so fearful of these entities aren't helping themselves. In fact, they're making themselves more susceptible to an attachment. I see a lot of people spreading false information, spreading fear-based information about entities when it's just polarity. All you gotta do with negative spirits is send them love, because they're a part of you at the end of the day. Everything is connected. We're all connected, even to our demons. And ultimately, sending them love is actually what's going to send them away, because they're coming to you seeking a negative polarity so that they can feed themselves. So if you give in to their fear, if you give in to their power, they're going to overpower you and therefore attach to you, because they know that you're going to be a vessel that's going to supply them with fear-based thoughts, anger, anxiety, whatever. But if you send them love, you send them something opposite of what they came for: appreciation, gratitude, thank you for being here, thank you for teaching me what I'm still scared of, thank you for being a part of my existence, but I send you off with love. That is what's going to send them away, because they're not coming to you for love, they're coming to you for fear, because the love isn't what's going to feed them, the love is what's going to make them go. I kind of wanted to clear that up, because like I said, I see so many people spreading fear-based information and it's wrong. I'm gonna hard out say it, it is wrong. Let's move on. My next question: what is the meaning of life? There is no meaning to life, as a very hard, simple, short answer, but the beauty of that is you get to give it meaning. What are those desires that get you up every day? What's that inner passion, that drive that you have, that makes you get up in the morning, that makes you want to live your life? What's that inner goal that you've always wanted to achieve, but you've never actually made an effort to pursue? That is the meaning of life. I also think part of the meaning is to come here and to learn to be of service to others and self. But again, that's a conscious choice that we all make. I definitely think that we can give our lives meaning, but that's a conscious choice that we have to make on our own. You can live your life without meaning 100%, but are you going to be happy? And maybe some of you are, I don't know. If I didn't give my life any meaning, if I didn't give my life any zest or spice, my life would be miserable, personally. So I don't know about you, but I've definitely given a lot of meaning to my life through my own experiences. But to say that there's one meaning of life and there's one thing that we should be doing is a little limiting, in my opinion. So it's definitely something that you get to choose for yourself, and that's the beauty of it. My next question is: how do I spiritually remove feelings of numbness and being stuck? So this is actually very, very common on the spiritual journey. Typically right after waking up, we go through something called dark night of the soul. And this is a very, very chaotic and sometimes even depressing part of the journey, because what's happening is you are completely uprooting all of these old constructs and beliefs and ways of being and doing away with them, so that in the place of those old constructs, ways of being, habits, you can place newer, fresher things, habits, jobs, people, whatever, on top. Those newer constructs are going to be more aligned with your purpose, more aligned with your newer vibration. So it's just a part of the awakening. This is something that everybody goes through. Most everyone goes through. Some dark nights of the soul are longer, some are broken up into parts. It's just very different depending on what your experience is and what you decided you want to happen in this life. A way to alleviate, I guess, the feelings of stuckness and the feelings of numbness is through meditation. I know I recommend meditation for everything, but I'm serious. It's like the magic antidote for like everything, I promise you. It helps so much, but a lot of people don't see those results because they're not consistent. Somebody will meditate one time, they're like, oh, that made me feel good, and then they don't actually incorporate it into their practice, so they never ultimately see much change going on. Meditation can make this process a lot smoother because it allows those energies to flow through you. So a lot of times when we're not aware or conscious of what's going on with this dark night of the soul and this purging, we tend to be more resistant to these energies and not allow them to flow through us. So when you're more aware and more conscious, you're allowing those energies to flow whenever they need to, so that way you can make the process a lot quicker and smoother. Meditation really helps with this because it gives your subconscious and it gives your body a moment to process all of these energies that need to get purged and released, when oftentimes we're too focused on our work, or we're too focused on school, or we're too focused on our daily life to give ourselves a moment. So that'll definitely make the process a lot smoother. Also, healing is another thing that I would like to recommend for feelings of numbness or stuckness. Going to consult a Reiki healer, someone in your area who does energy healing, or if you do energy healing yourself, doing constant self-healings. I mean, I try to do Reiki on myself every day pretty much, if not like a few days out of the week. I'll do Reiki on myself. and heal myself, you know, and you don't have to get a certification to heal yourself, but if you do want to heal others, you definitely need a certification. But everybody can heal. Everybody has the potential to channel energy into themselves and to heal themselves. So just do what feels right with you. You know, if it means to put your hands on your heart and just allow energy to flow into your hands, into your heart center, you know, there's many ways you can heal yourself. You can look up things on YouTube. There's tutorials on how to do energy healing on YouTube. A lot of energy healing really helps, whether that's coming from yourself or that's coming from someone else, you know, another healer. Definitely will help you along your dark night of the soul path. Another piece of advice I guess I could give to people who are experiencing, you know, feelings of stuckness or feeling lost or numb is to embrace your feelings, to embrace this part of your life, because ultimately you're going to look back one day and you're going to tell yourself, wow, I really needed that in order to grow, in order to expand. Acceptance is the first step to change, because if you're not accepting of something, you're shunning it out. You're creating resistance. As I mentioned earlier, resistance is what's going to slow the whole path down. It's going to slow the progression period down. So to accept something as fact, say, you know what, I'm in a stuck point right now, I'm lost and I have no idea what I want to do. I have no idea where I want to go, and that's okay, because I'm actively making changes, I'm actively taking steps to find that. I'm doing research, I'm looking into myself, I'm meditating, I'm doing little things to ultimately create bigger change in my life. So you can't just sit there and wallow in your stuckness either, because I don't have sympathy for victims. I really don't. You really have to make a point to accept what's going on in your life while also making changes, because you are the only one who can implement change into your life, not anybody else. You have to take the steps to make changes to get out of this stuck period or this numb period. Now, those changes can be as small as just changing the way that you think, changing the way that you speak to yourself, changing the way you speak to others. Those small changes will eventually translate into bigger changes and bigger changes and bigger changes until your whole situation has changed completely. So if you want to establish change in a situation where you feel stuck, you must first accept what's happening, embrace it, and then take the required actions, even if they're really small, to get to wherever you want to be. So my last question, but definitely not the least, I actually really do like this question a lot, is how do you get your mojo back? Mojo is, I like to think of it as like confidence, you know, that feel-good energy, that energy that gets you out into social situations because you look good, you feel good, all of that. That's mojo. I don't really like to see mojo as something that is outside of yourself, something that you have to go seek, you know, through either others or through situations or things. It's something that's always within you. You just have to see it, because it's already there. You just kind of have to lift that veil over your eyes and be able to see what it is that you appreciate about yourself, or you should be appreciating about yourself. And you can do this through affirmations, primarily. I talk about affirmations a lot in all of my videos because they're so important. And there's a reason I rave about them, because they work. So it's literally carving new neural pathways and new beliefs into your head through repetition. Just like whenever you work out, you're repeating an action to break down that muscle so that it grows new tissue. It's the same thing with affirmations. You're repeating something to yourself until it becomes a belief. So even if you don't believe these affirmations at first about yourself and about your looks, you just continue to chant them. Consistency is key with this stuff. That's really where you can get your mojo from. It's always within you. It's not something you have to go find. It's not something that you'll find with another person. I'm just being honest. It's something that is already there. You just have to be able to look at what you have about yourself, or what you have within yourself, and appreciate it. You are 1 in 7 billion. That's amazing. It really is. There's nobody on the planet that looks exactly like you, that speaks exactly like you, that lives exactly like you. You are one unique being out of 7 billion. That is truly amazing, and I think for that we should all be in our mojo. So tell yourself that every day, you know, if you need to. Tell yourself how unique you are, how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, how amazing it is for you to have a unique experience like this one. So that is the conclusion of this Q&A vlog. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If your question didn't get answered, I do apologize. I had so many questions, but I will be doing more of these. So send me your questions through DM, email, and I will write them down to keep track of them. If you would like a tarot reading or if you'd like to watch some of my tarot videos, check them out. I'll have them listed somewhere around here. And check out my vlogs, check out my other videos, guys. Thank you so much again for allowing me into your experience and into your awareness and for being a part of mine as well. Have a blessed day and take care, guys. Bye-bye.